welcome everybody to the meeting of Ramsgate Town Council Planning and Infrastructure Committee, Wednesday the 10th September 2005. Please, can you make sure your mobile phones are turned off? Including me. Yes, I have. First of all, we'll do apologies. We have apologies
from Councillor Hetherington, who has a personal commitment.
Okay. Councillor Wing is on her way.
No way, she was here for another meeting, has had to nip home and has come back.
Okay. First of all, any declarations of interest? No. The minutes of the meeting held on the 6th of August. We need to approve these as a true record. Please, can I have a proposer?
No, I think actually I wasn't here that meeting.
Okay. Councillor Auburn, well, I will second that. Yeah, second. Right. Then I'm going to hand over to the town clerk to explain this KCC highways.
Thank you, Chair. So item 4.1, Highways Amendment 4 Deposit Document. There's actually two matters within this document. First of all is that KCC is updating its official orders map, and then specific to Ramsgate is adding a new width restriction on the port tunnel to stop oversized vehicles using it unless they have special permission or emergency vehicle.
That's interesting. Sorry, I should go through the check. Do we know if that's through with regards to people staying overnight down there? Is that?
Yeah, if I can help, I think it's in relation to the amount of work that needs to be done within the tunnel, because they're saying it's unsafe.
Oh, okay.
And especially after the crash, the car going into the tunnel, not that that made any much difference, to be quite honest. So I think that's what they're worried about, is what goes over the tunnel. So if vehicles are too high and then they catch the top, then it fall in. That's what I'm thinking. That's my reasoning for it. I think.
I thought it was to do with the ventilation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's all part of it.
Yeah. Councillor Shonk.
Years ago, we've always had a problem with that tunnel, and I sat here many years ago, around at Town Council, and we asked KCC to work on that tunnel at night times, and that was promised. I can't see why it can't be done at night time. Because every time you see that place is closed during the daytime, the lights are still flashing from months now. I've been in touch with Paul Bannock about that. I can't see why work can't be done at night time in that tunnel, so the traffic can flow.
Could you use your answer?
I have.
See to try and
6 years ago, 8 years ago.
well,
Sure.
We've
a renewed effort.
It's got nothing to do with this item.
No,
it's
true.
right in what you're saying, but it's got nothing to do with this item in relation to what the cases here are proposing.
Okay, I don't see that we can have any problems with this. We have to go, yes.
Chair, the only issue is obviously whatever comes out of the port, whatever lorries come out of the port will has to go through there. So that's the only cause of concern that I have, as to whether the height restriction will be enough to let current vehicles through.
True, yeah. Do we have any, sorry.
So may I confirm that the restriction will be on vehicles with an abnormal width, which is described over 3.75 metres, who must have pre-approval from the structure's assets manager before access.
Well,
fair enough.
That's probably all right then. Can we note this then?
Noted.
And
Yeah.
noted any further? Yeah. Okay. And the second,
The item 4.2 is the Kent County Council Various Roads Thanet Speed Limits Consolidation Order 2025, which tidies up and consolidates all existing speed limit rules in Thanet into one single updated order. All the older limit orders from 2022 to 2024 are revoked. The same speed limits still apply, but now they're all collected into one set of maps and schedules to make things clearer and easier for KCC to manage. No actual changes to speed limits are being introduced. It's purely an administrative update.
Suppose we note the amendments.
Second that.
yes. All those in favour of noting the amendment?
Chair, just clarify on that. So we're talking about a speed limit, but everything stays the same at the moment.
Yes, that's what it was.
Because I've been in touch with Paul Ballard, and it's really basically down to KCC. But at the end of the day, they're the knowledge.
Yeah, they're just giving us the information that they're changing, they're
The presentation.
everything together and just putting it in one plan instead of all being separate plans. So that's.
Is that all right,
Absolutely.
Okay. So, sorry, Councillor Green.
Is the new map on the website?
The new map is included on KCC's website and with, it's on there.
Oh, yes.
The only thing you can, I would say is, you could see the new map, there wasn't an easy comparison to what it's replacing. I think how it works is the order includes map tiles and legends which show exactly where each speed limit applies across Thanet. And from 22nd of August, these new consolidated maps become the official record of speed limits in the district.
I just wanted to check if the 20 mile an hour and under the cut was on there.
Yes, it is. We looked.
We
Yeah.
just showed.
Yeah.
It was just up and everything. Having to listen to these things.
Councillor
I
Shaw.
know you're not going to like it. I'm not voted in have a war on motorists. I've had a long talk about this. Some areas, yes. But that's not on my remit. There are roads, even today, forget about the 20 or 30. This road here, they're doing 60, 70 mile an hour.
Well, we're
And
not,
up high, I know you're not talking about it, but can't we correct that first?
yes, as you say, we're not talking about that at the moment. We're just talking about them making a full and accurate record. Councillor
Well, we
Austin.
rely on our KCC councillors to take those messages forward, don't we?
Agreed.
The thing that I noticed, as Councillor Green said, yes, the Nether Court stuff is on there. We've had some correspondence with KCC Highways about this because we noticed that there's an awful lot of 20 mile an hour zones in other parts of Thanet, which we're really pleased to see happening. And we hope that this is an indication that they will be
Pleased with the idea of making the town centre 20 miles an hour as we keep requesting.
St Peter's today, for some reason, they've got all sorts of traffic.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
I think it makes it a lot easier to get to grips with what's happening across Thanet by having it on
By having it all
one
on
map.
one place,
It's a
yes.
very sensible thing to do.
Yes. Hear, hear.
Nice, makes a change for KCC.
Okay, so we agree
noted.
to know.
Yeah,
Anything else?
Noted.
Great. Okay.
And item 4.3 is the Kent County Council has set aside 1.5 million for a bus service improvement plan funding to support projects that improve local bus travel across the county. This money is for capital projects only, not running costs, and will be distributed through a competitive bidding process open to district, borough and town councils as well as bus operators. The funding is aimed at schemes that deliver lasting benefit for bus passengers and services, such as better information and signage for bus users, passenger and driver facilities at stops or depots, improvement to bus vehicles or operator facilities, and projects that make it easier to connect buses with other transport like rail. And these are schemes that must be delivered by March 2027 and be supported by a long-term plan to sustain them in the future. The application deadline is the 31st of October. I think between when this was advertised and the deadline is a very tight time unless councils and bus operators already have existing ideas, other made plans that they're sitting on.
Councillor Wing.
I think Tricia was before me, sorry, Chair.
Oh, sorry,
But I just want to say, Dean and I have had a little bit of conversation about this, and we would like to discuss at the climate change task group in a couple of weeks' time whether there might be a small project that we could put in for through that group. And if we did, obviously we would come back to council with that.
Could some of this money be used, or we've got that High Street, you know, the road change that's been coming for years. Could that be used? We're going to enhance the road with High Street Fund money, I think. I lose confusion of money. Of the changes there, which obviously involves a significant number of bus stops. So are the district council aware that they could dip into something which might improve the bus?
we wanted to move from Leopold Street to the front.
Is that a question you've asked?
We've asked, they've already said no to that, haven't they?
Yeah, obviously, £1.5 million is for the whole of Kent.
It's not going to go very far.
And that ain't going to go far. So you'll be lucky to get a couple of grand out of it.
Yeah.
And not saying that we shouldn't think of anything for it, because we should.
Yeah.
You know, you could effectively, out of that, whatever you've got, let's say you've got 50 grand or something, you might be able to get a small
Minibus.
to do the villages, whatever, but then you've got to do the running costs, because it doesn't cover the running costs. So I think it's a nice number to put out on a bit of paper, but to actually get something that's going to be worthwhile to our residents is going to be...
Just to come back at that, so the road will be enhanced. Sorry, I just wanted to come back. But some of this money could be used to enhance the bus stops alongside the refurbished or updated flow of the road.
Is that what you're saying, Councillor Ross?
I was thinking of something much more modest than Councillor Alban was suggesting, bearing in mind that it's got to spread right. So I was thinking about, one of the things they're talking about was facilities for passengers and whatever. So I was thinking about benches at bus stops for, you know, allowing for the fact we've got an older population, etc. You know, can we install some benches at bus stops that would make it more comfortable for some of our older residents to travel by bus rather than bring their cars into town, etc.
I would love to see what they've got in London, where they've got electronic signs.
Yes, the signs that tell you, yes. Although I'm assured that if you've got the Stagecoach app, I'm assured that it tells you very reliably.
Yes, if you happen to have a phone.
That's why 3 loops come on at the same time.
Especially with a lot of road down. It's been a nightmare to work out when the bus is going to come. Councillor,
I think this is good news. I think we're about lots of other things, but there's so many people out there that can't catch buses because there's no buses available. You've got people that live at this end, and that would help them just to get the thing moving, something, and get the car off the road and use this bus service. I mean, there's Minster and Moncton. That was stopped because...
No buses in the evenings, no buses.
That was stopped because the traffic cannot move around Minster and Moncton, so therefore we've all lost that. So I think it's good news, and hope we have some input on it. Bus shelters, I think there are movements there to get grant money for bus shelters, because one on Station Approach Road that was run into, it's never been replaced. So when it's raining, we should stay and get wet. But it's good news.
Cabinet list. Cabinet list.
Yeah, I mean, we got bus stops.
Councillor Green about a community bus. I investigated it because of that 20 million.
Yeah.
Or 2 million per year. And it's part of the problem. The money is for Ramsgate. It's not for Minster or Hampton.
Or Cliff's End even.
That's one problem. And that's probably where we need the community bus services in those places.
Could have just come back on that stage. It's one that does connect everybody, but it just needs to, I mean, when you're talking about Minster, they call it Minster in Ramsgate, say Moncton in Ramsgate.
So we've got some.
Anyway, we'll see, we'll see.
They're valid, aren't they? They're not necessarily Ramsgate.
Which is Moncton and Ramsgate. Anyway, let's look into that.
Sorry, Councillor Orban.
Yeah, can I make a suggestion, Chair? I think we all need to sit down and think about what we could do, but it would be ideal if we knew what kind of money that we were going to be able to do. But obviously what they're saying, basically what they're saying is, you come up with an idea, you come up with what it is, but then you've got to find out how much that's going to cost. Then you've got to put that in to KCC, then for them to say, yes, you can have it, or no, you can't. Or you can have part of it, but where's the other part that comes? So, but I do think we can sit around here all night thinking about things, but I think we need to do that in a proper manner.
I mean, bus shelters.
It's just a ticket.
I think seats at bus stops could well succeed.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah.
So, do we need to have a group to discuss this, or do we need to send ideas to the town clerk?
Chair, if I could ask if it's possible if the town clerk could contact KCC, ask how did we go? I mean, I must admit I haven't read all of it. I didn't read the top parts of it, but I haven't read all of it. But how do we progress this when we come up with something? Let's say seats in bus stops. How do we come up? How do we go ahead with that? And how much money can we actually bid for? So we could put a bid in for £100,000, but you know you ain't going to get it. So
we could ask KCC how much a shelter would cost. I know it will depend on where it is and that sort of stuff, and a bench, but there must be some designs for bus shelters that you can just buy and plonk.
yeah, sorry, Chair, but I think now looking something that was on TV news the other day was that they want to improve all the bus stops with digital, everything like that, and to advertise on them, major advertise on them, to pay for them, etc., etc. So you've got to fall in with that. But as far as I need some more information, if we just say we're very interested about bus stops, how we can improve them, what's the figure for improving your bus stops? TDC have got bus stops that we didn't know we bloody well had.
Yes, which is interesting.
And that no one knew because they're so old, no one knew about it. So TDC have got to repair what they've already got. So maybe they will also be buying. So I don't know, it's not in my remit, but I think that's the way forward, Chair, to start with. Let's get that. You know, we're not going to deal with it overnight, are we?
So we're going to
It's quite detailed what you have to do.
Oh, well, there you are then. So
ask
I'll share that
KCC,
information with David.
ask KCC what we can do to improve bus stops as a first stage. I wonder if that's Lausanne? Probably not.
Worth going to Lausanne to start off with, wouldn't it? She'd point you to the right person.
Oh, sorry,
I just wanted to ask if the climate change group has has this group's approval to discuss that at our next meeting and see what we might come up with, because we'll be looking at something very small.
It's not a problem.
Where we might put volunteer time in as match funding.
Okay. Okay, so have we decided?
I'll propose this. So you've got a proposal, although Councillor Green just said it is outlined a bit in the actual paperwork, but it isn't just about that. It's about, is there a maximum cost that you can apply for? Or is there a maximum, that you can, a maximum that you can go up to? Or can you apply for £1.5 million?
Or is there something already in the pipeline that you were talking about?
Yeah.
TV,
Yes, is there?
that we can latch onto?
But I do think, Mr. Chair, I do really go along with Councillor Green's view in relation to seating in the coverage of it, coverage, make sure the coverage is there to keep people dry and safe. And I think that would be a way forward and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying, we can ask about how much a shelter is. And it's not a purpose-built one, it's an off-the-shelf one, assuming you can get off-the-shelf shelters, presumably including a seat as well. So we could ask them about that.
Yeah.
And also whether there are any greater plans
Yeah.
in the offing.
And the other question, Chair, I think that needs to be asked is, because it'll be on highway land, and if we were to do it and we'd pay for it, who's going to fit it? It's KCC.
And what permissions are required?
And is there any permissions required? Because it's got to be from them anyway.
Yes, because it would presumably need planning, wouldn't it?
No, they could probably do it under the Highways Act, so I would
Yeah, I don't think it's fun.
Future
Okay.
maintenance.
Yes, the maintenance and all.
That's in the document.
You're in a squeegee.
We've already got shelters and benches on the front there. How are they maintained?
By us volunteers.
No, bus shelter.
Bus shelters.
Oh, they do come round every now and then.
They do come round.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
I expect to think it's Stagecoach.
Stagecoach, yeah.
They have a
Stagecoach. Okay, because they've got advertisements on them. At least if we had an electronic thing on those, that would be really helpful. But that is to do with whether they've got any master plans for all this stuff. Okay, everybody?
Yeah.
Yep. Settled. Okay, so next is planning applications.
That's the one where Pat and I are,
TV bond.
whether we want an industrial estate now. Conservationary. Again. Oh, this is the one off. Crystal Place.
Happy for me to go through these.
Yes.
So first on TV bond engineering supplies, it's an outline application for of 8 non-commercial industrial units following the demolition of the existing buildings, including access, landscaping, layouts and scale. We have had this application for
Several
the
times.
last few years. We've repeated the same comment, which has been to support in principle use of land reconsidered. There are too many units in the outline application, not enough parking provision, access into a busy highway is a concern, and the area is densely populated, and to avoid disturbance, any light industrial use should have usage time restrictions in place. It has been amended, the designs for the footpath have been with comments actually as well. So they're extending the pavement access width by 2 metres by 2 for the side liners for the resident who lives there, and they've put in a bit about the spacing turning head point at the end. So the pavement bit here, which is this bit, and bin store they've put the drop bit there for tactile paving, and then they've extended onto the turning head to explain a bit more of the turning size. And then there's a bit more about the bin storage, and that's the only additional plans or amendments.
Could you go back to the next, that's it. So, sorry, Chair,
Yes, go on.
if I may. I still think if you're getting vans, heavy vans up there, bigger lorry type van, they're not going to turn around there. they're not going to turn round. If there's cars parked in where they're showing a car parked in there, it's going to be very difficult for them because they do need to be able to go in forward and come out forward. If that for me is one of the reasons I'm not supportive of this application. The other reason, I think was there 8 originally?
Yes, there was.
Yeah, so they've knocked one off. But I am concerned about noise and everything for the residents on that will be attached just before number 1. So I do think there will be an issue there. Yeah, you go back to the house for us. Yeah, I still think there, depending on what businesses are operating here depends on the level of activity. So if it's storage, if it's packaging deliveries, there's going to be a lot of traffic going up and down there. So I have my concerns, Chair.
They have applied for Class E, which is not actually light industrial. It could be a variety. It could be shops, it could be hairdressers, there's a whole variety of things which it could be. There aren't a lot of lorries, or there aren't any lorries go up there at the moment. Because I've been and looked and talked. There is, as we know, quite a strong local pressure group against this, who have been going around knocking on doors, asking people to not support this. And I know, while we must take notice of what they say, there are a lot of people who do support it. For example, the dentist just along there, who has got plans of what it used to be like ages ago, where there was a fish and chip shop there in that terrace, and other shops in that terrace. So it hasn't always been residential, which may or may not be relevant because it is residential now.
I think that's beside the point, Chair.
It is, but a lot of the pressure is coming from people that say these are special historic residences, and they haven't always been residences. There's a lot of pressure saying it's going to kill school children. The school is a street away, and they already have huge lorries coming down there. Yes, Councillor Shaw.
Can I just show you? I do know that. If you can try and keep these people happy, why not give them a better footpath? And this piece of land, it's nothing to do with the development, is it? Because that was a wonderful shop years ago.
That's what that line is, that's a new footpath.
Yes. Yes. There is dispute about the ownership of the access. Sorry, Councillor Austin.
I agree with what Councillor Alban said about deliveries, etc. It assumes that there are parking places for all the units and 2 others, which assumes that only one person works in each unit and there are 2 spaces for visitors. The land that abuts the house that we just looked at, there is a dispute with the owner of that house, who claims that part of that land actually belongs to her and that they should not be applying. And this dispute has been going on for some time through lawyers, etc. Because under previous applications, she alleges that the application includes her land and shouldn't do. So there's a lot of complications about this application. It does not strike me that it is very much improved, and I still have all the concerns. And understandably, as Councillor Alban says, so do local residents. It's a conservation area. It's an area where there's a lot of footfall, a lot of small children going to the infant school, which is literally just across the road there, etc. It's not an appropriate development. If it was hairdressers and shops, where are people going to park? It would be lovely if they all walked there, but they're not going to. We know they're not going to.
Well, I'm a great believer in how cities and towns grew up and evolved. They they had houses, they had shops, they had workshops like this. And I think, you know, it would be nice to have somewhere that people could walk to work. I think it's quite important that we keep these places. I mean, I know it's not a planning consideration, but if there is no planning, it will stay as it is. And at the moment, the stuff goes on that is noisy and smelly, and this planning approval would restrict it to between 8 and 5, and not on Sundays, not on bank holidays. It would restrict noise and it would restrict fumes. So it would be an enormous improvement on the situation they've got at the moment. Yes, Councillor Austin, I can see your...
I just wanted to respond on the, at the moment, the activity that's going on is not covered under the current conditions, and therefore it is up to planning enforcement and environmental health to pick that up. We shouldn't be having to second guess what they're doing. That's not part of it.
But we shouldn't be having to second guess what you think might go on here, because the person who owns the site breaks up cars. It doesn't mean to say that he's going to do it.
Oh no, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting this is an inappropriate squashing in of industrial units into a site in a residential.
Wings before me,
Sorry,
I actually think the idea of units on a space like this in a town centre location is a good idea, but we have with the HIP, we have identified this street as a situation, as a street that we have concerns about, and we had monitoring on there.
Which showed 20 miles an hour.
It did, but it also showed that there were 3,000 vehicle movements, I think, in a week. So this, and I also drive a long wheelbase camper van, and I often go down Cannon Road and have to turn that way or that way, and it's very, very difficult. And the other concern I have is because the road is so narrow, the high street parts of it are so narrow, I actually have to take my wing mirrors in, because if two-way traffic happens, my wing mirror is actually over the pavement, and if there's somebody walking on that pavement, then I'm going to clip them with my wing mirror.
That happens.
So it's a concern. So my whole concern is around access in and out of there, and I agree with Councillor Alban and Councillor Austin. There's no way, even when the vehicle, I mean, I live on Hertford Street, James Street, where the parking is. All-staff bin lorry has to reverse back down a very narrow road. There's nothing at the end of it, so there isn't a problem because it's just a parking area. But that creates a massive issue, and I can see even the waste vehicle going to collect the 360 Paladin bins is not going to. It's either going to turn and then reverse down there so it can come out forwards, or it's going to go in forwards and then reverse back out. Both create a massive issue. And although the grammar school is over there, when the kids are arriving at school, they funnel down all the roads. They don't just go on the quickest route. They don't think. They're kids, they're on a mission, they're not aware about safety and the fact
They don't bid on that road.
They just flood down both areas. It's quite a busy road on people going into town as well, so the access problems are a real big concern for me.
Councillor Sean?
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So, I agree with you. Most of what's said, so I'm repeating myself here. So, for example, we as a town council have written the fact that it's not that we disagree that this area should be used. It was a case of like we don't like the current plan. So we're with you in the sense that yes, we could use this and it might be better. But going back to your comment about like how towns and cities grew up and all the rest of it, with this sort of like element of mixed use and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, we're in a situation now where we have bigger bin lorries, bigger this, that and the other. And so it's not this nice quaint little thing that somebody's going to drive his Morris Minor down and go into his workshop. We've got larger cars and everything. So I still think at the moment it's overdevelopment. My concerns are the turning area isn't big enough for most vehicles that want to deliver. It might be okay for a small or medium-sized car, however, we're talking about delivery vehicles. My second point is I feel for the house, and they might have been given a pavement, but I could also see that could become very problematic for that house, and I don't know what we can do with regards to that, but I think that would become irksome if I was living there. And as with regards to them fighting through the courts around the thing, I mean, that's something obviously we can't do anything about, but it's a very interesting point. And the last thing again is the exit onto the main road, as we say, because I do think, as Councillor Ring said, that road is particularly narrow and it's difficult to turn around. And if you've got a large vehicle and you're going into a small road next to somebody's house, and those cars will be going over there if it's the same height, that pavement, as the road. They will be going over that block paving or whatever it happens to be at the time. They're not going to not unless there's a curb. And so it's lip service, I think, that pavement in front of that house, quite frankly, rather than a physical barrier so that house has safety against a vehicle that could be coming past their front door when they're stepping out. I think that's something that we do really need to consider. So those three aspects alone are enough for me to think that this is still not adequate for what we want in our town.
Councillor Shonk.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to get a vehicle up there. If any vehicle goes there, they'll have to come into the high street and back up there. But they're going, like Councillor Wing said, we don't want to stop these people working in the town because we've got so many businesses in the town. I just wish they come back with a bit of a tidier thought for the. Any complaints from these people? Have Ramsgate Town Council had any complaints about?
There are a whole long list of objections.
Don't get those beautiful.
They're all from the same pressure group.
Yeah, that's right. Are we talking about historical Ramsgate, which is backwards?
No, the pressure group has their point. It's just they went round to knocking on everybody's doors, and there are lots of people that don't agree with them who haven't got a pressure group. So we've got to be.
I think you've got to be very careful with your wording.
I was going to say, everybody, not just this pressure group.
You can't, I'm sorry, Claire, I don't even know these people. I do object to that term though. If people are concerned about something and they're asking their neighbours and they're alerting to people about and giving their thoughts, that's not a pressure group, that's concerned citizens wanting to find out and let other people know. Let's not name it something, please.
Well, whatever it's called, there are a lot of other views that aren't represented. For a lot of people are not the sort of people that would write in to the council to support something. Yes, Councillor.
Thank you, Councillor Nixie. I do feel that as Chair, Councillor Megginson, you are taking an opportunity to speak repeatedly on a matter that we know you feel strongly about, but I'm not entirely sure that it's appropriate. We are the ward councillors in that ward. We know you live in that ward as I live in your ward, but actually we've been working with residents in this area since we were elected. We know there's a huge variety of different views, but that very many residents are concerned about this because it is overdevelopment. Not that they want nothing to happen with that space, but that this is massive overdevelopment and inappropriate in a primarily residential area. Full stop.
Councillor Orban.
Yeah, I think what's missed here is that we, as a town council, are looking at a planning application. It's the residents' right to write to Thanet District Council who deal with the planning application. We don't deal with it. We only comment upon the application. And we should not take into account what residents are saying because we haven't got it. I haven't got it. I haven't got their views. So I can only get second-hand stuff. So I can't make decision on that, and neither should we all. We should make a decision in what's in front of us, purely on that alone, and nothing else. I've already given you my point of view on that. Is I have serious concerns about the traffic going in, whether it can come out straight, frontwards, and also about the effects on 135. And may I just point out that anyone can make a planning application on anybody's land. They just have to serve notice on them. Now, if there's an issue between the two, that's between them, and it doesn't mean anything to us when looking at that. So for me, it doesn't change anything. It's just that I think that we should
I don't think
oppose this
application.
Councillor Nixon.
Right, so I propose we reinstate our original comments, again with those three areas in mind. We're concerned about the turning circle, we're concerned about the exit, and we're very much concerned about the pavement, which could then effectively become lip service with regards to 135. So, as much as, you know, as we've said before, as much as we are aware and keen to have something on that site, we still feel that it's overdevelopment.
I'll second that, Chin.
Okay, all those in favour?
Okay, that's clear enough, yes.
All those against? Yeah, I think I'm against as well. Two against.
No, he said abstain.
Oh, abstain. Councillor Green, did you?
He's not on planning.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Right, okay.
Well, I'm not going to TDC.
That's it.
Predetermined. You didn't mean that.
Okay, the second application is the land fronting. Advertising applications, erection display of one number, internally illuminated digital display screen deals. Called in by councillors Austin Wing, grounds include conservation area and impact on neighbours, no detail of the exact site, in relation to our building, and whether it's.
Can I have a look where that is, please?
It's outside.
It's no longer there, it's in between the site or
Councillor, oh, sorry, Councillor.
May I add that this will not directly interrupt the Christmas tree. But we are concerned that the proximity to the Christmas tree, it will deter from the Christmas tree. We've asked TDC whether when the Christmas tree is up, would they consider switching it off? Or if we moved the tree a little bit, there then needs to be excavation of a new 2.5 foot hole and reconnection to electricity. And would TDC be prepared to assist with the costs for creating a new place for the Christmas tree to be? We haven't heard back. So there is a link to our Christmas tree with this application.
I think Councillor Wing was first.
Tricia was first.
Oh, was she? Sorry.
Since we have been elected, we have been on a mission to get rid of dead phone boxes in our ward. There was one on the harbour opposite the Travelodge. There were two in York Street. There was one on Spencer Square. None of them worked. No residents ever complained that there was not a public phone box available to them. Gradually, by attrition over years and years and working with successive BT managers, we have managed to get rid of them all. And now this comes up. I feel like the character in the Greek myth that pushed the stone up the hill and then had it rolled back down again. All of a sudden, we just got rid of the last one in York Street, and now we've got this.
And that cost RTC money, removing it.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry, can I just... So
it's just the order of things.
No, can I just finish what I was saying? Thank you. So as I say, we never had complaints from residents that there aren't public phone boxes. I do like the idea of a defibrillator and all of that, but I don't think it is worth the hassle. The police have objected on the grounds that these boxes attract antisocial behaviour. We know they do. They were basically used for public urination and drug deals. And this, we suspect, will be no different. So I'm afraid I'm very strongly against it.
I did, so when the application come in, there was very little detail, and actually, I wrote to the planning officer, Myrtle, I think, and said, look, there's no site location, there's no orientation of which way it's facing, there's no information about the illuminated sign, how long it's going to be on, whether it's going to be switched off, there's no indication of, this diagram didn't exist, so you couldn't really work out which properties it was near. We did get a lot of that information back, and then we sent some more concerns over. I feel the same. There were 2 boxes in Queen's car park as well, which we got rid of as well. So I think we've got rid of 5 phone boxes. I also Googled the percentage of the population that actually rely on or use phone boxes, and it's 8%. So my feeling is it's a London-based company. The only reason this is going there is for advertising purposes only. It's in the conservation zone. There's no need. It's a blight on the community, and I just oppose it.
Sorry, Councillor.
I strongly oppose this, in the sense that I think we're spending a lot of time trying to declutter
Yes.
our public spaces and
make them more attractive. Yes.
Exactly. So I would propose that we oppose this on those grounds, including the Christmas tree aspect of it. Do you know what I mean? But if we were trying to declutter, we're trying to beautify things.
Impact on neighbours.
Street furniture, bloody hell, even that cycle. Let me look at that photo thing where even that cycle rack is bent. That could be removed as well. Just nobody ever uses it. It's bent. It looks okay there. It's bent. Street furniture, no.
Councillor Orban.
Yeah, there's one reason we should refuse it, and it does not enhance the conservation. That's purely that. And also, I would have to say that I don't think you can mention the Christmas tree.
No.
Not really a planning issue. Bearing in mind it's there for about a week or so, 2 weeks at the most. So I would just go purely on the grounds that it does not enhance the conservation area.
And it's not needed.
That would be my view.
You agree?
Yeah, no need.
There was a time when we opposed all internally illuminated.
Yes.
In the conservation
And we
area.
should do.
That were on, but on shops mainly.
Yeah, we opposed all of them,
Yeah.
which I agree with.
So you've got a proposal?
Yes.
Yep.
I'll second it, Chair.
All in favour?
Hang on, baby.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I've spotted that one though. Sneaked in.
The last application was 46 Grange Road.
Oh, yeah.
It's our approval application for changing use from retail to 100 dwelling, which is retrospective. According by Councillor Green, reason that we don't have to show that the commercial uses no possible retail area. We have previously commented on the neighbouring property of the same thing, that is still pending. We gave no comment. And there's no indication in the application to state whether they have. Indication.
it's retrospective, isn't it?
It's already happened.
Can I just look to see what the shop front, which one it is? Sorry.
Sorry, Councillor Green's got his hand
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
They've already done the work. Since I called it in to TDC, because they wanted to make the point that they should show that commercial is no longer feasible before doing it. But I've since had 2 emails from TDC Planning. The first one said that it was all a mistake. They shouldn't have put it on the list because it comes under the government scheme where you get pre-approval to change from commercial to residential. So I couldn't object. But then I had a second email from them saying that because they'd already done the work, that new rule by the government no longer applies to them. And I could object. And they would be sending out a new notification.
Councillor Nix, did you?
No, I just wanted, sorry, I was asking Dean to show me which particular building it was, so I wanted to make sure I was talking about the right one, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, happens all the time. I know I've been past that property loads of times when it's not been used for some time. I can't remember rightly. I've got the right one. And providing the room sizes are okay and it's going to go to a single dwelling and not in like two flats or something. Personally, I can't see a problem with it.
Is it a single dwelling?
It isn't a single dwelling. It's various flats, isn't it?
Yes, it's various flats.
No, I think it is a single dwelling.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought.
One dwelling.
I saw one dwelling.
And they've already done it.
And you enjoyed that, and that's neither here nor there. We're looking at that.
I think it's a really attractive shop.
It's a beautiful shop, yeah.
A prominent position, and I'm surprised that it has not got a commercial use, councillor Wynne.
I think it's quite interesting that they kept that bit at the front, so at least it can look like it's adding to the retail section. Quite a few people on, quite a few places on Addington Street do exactly the same, and there's living space behind it, so.
As long as they keep the shop front, I think that would be the thing.
Keep the shop,
The application to keep the shop front.
Unfortunately, the coffee shop further down the road on Range Road didn't. And that was a shame.
It's just a question of whether we want to defend these out of town centre shopping
areas,
streets. Because we support
20-minute neighbourhoods.
20-minute neighbourhoods.
Well, Chair, I think that obviously part of the process that the planning officers will go through is asking that particular point you raised, David, about whether have they tested the water, are they just going to, I don't know whether it's changed ownership or whatever, I haven't got a clue, but they will do that. And if there isn't, you know, what was it? I can't remember what it was.
Was it the one where you painted pottery?
No, that's further down.
That's further down.
I've lived on that
Previously,
road.
officers are saying that now they're not involved.
Oh, right, because prior approval.
Yeah, they only need to be notified.
So councillor Sharp wanted to.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's only because they've done the work without notifying them.
Yeah.
Then I'll just say, on that shop front, if they keep that shop front, and there's an improvement, we should go with that. We've lost so many shops in the town. You go to Doom, it's still buzzing. They've still got individual shops. We've gone the other way. There's still the older folk that want to spend money in our town. So I'd say, if it still looks like a shop, it is a shop. What they do behind the doors, because we've got some awful planning down here. Shop front window with a brick wall behind
Sorry,
it.
where are we talking?
Doesn't matter.
King Street.
Some of the planning that's been allowed over the years. If it looks like a shop front, and they've tidied the site up, I'm all for it.
Okay.
What do we do? Just note this? I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
I certainly got no objection to it, to be honest.
No.
Out of our hands as council.
My house was a shop, and then when we moved in, it was a living room, and then we changed it back to a shop. Which cost money. Okay, so we're noting this.
So is there a seconder?
I'll second it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All those in favour?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bit of a strange one.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Bit of a strange.
Well, you can always reverse, it's not the actual structure.
That's why I say bring that shop.
Yeah.
Secondary shop front.
It's a friend who did a workspace.
That's got to be continued.
I had a friend who lived in what had been an antique shop.
Okay.
Next door the window. And of course people can not if they want to buy such.
Look there.
Yes.
The highways.
Are we?
No, sorry, that's not
Done.
I've gone the wrong one, we're done. Yeah, no, sorry. Wednesday, the 1st of October is the date on it.
Okey-dokey. Right, members, good evening, welcome to this Asset Management Committee meeting and welcome to those who are watching online. Item 1, apologies.
We have apologies from councillors Hudson, Driver and Hetherington who have personal commitments.
And Crittenden and Huxley are both away. Councillor Driver. Did you say Councillor Driver, didn't you? Thank you. Any declarations of interest, members, in items on the agenda? No? Okay, thank you. Item 3, minutes. To approve the minutes of the meeting of the Asset Management Committee held on the 10th of June 2025. As a true record, only questions of record may be considered. Members, any questions? No? So therefore I propose acceptance. The seconder, please. All in favour, please show. Thank you, that's carried. Oh, you all right if I put that down? Okay. Item 4, allotments. This is to receive a written report from Miss M. Nash, allotment officer, and consider the following matters. 1, allotments waiting list update. 2, WhatsApp or even a WhatsApp guidance review. And 3, dedicated allotment counsellor suggestion from allotment sites. And the others are rules of trail cameras, rules around cultivation, rules around incinerator fires and allotments, updating of appeals procedure, and National Allotment Society training update. I'll shoot over to Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Item 1, allotment waiting lists. There are currently 212 applicants on the waiting list at the 13th of August, with Celia Road and Chiltern Lane East being the most oversubscribed. The recommendation is to note this update and close the waiting list, with a review every February by the Asset Management Committee or every 6 months. We haven't in the past closed the waiting list, but this is a recommendation that came up at a recent an allotment appeal hearing. And also we're aware that it is common practice with other councils. Broadstairs has recently closed their waiting list. There is also benefit to not collecting private information from people to hold on record when not required, not creating long lists for the sake of it.
Councillor Green?
I'd like to put a counter view that not closing the voting list, because that's the only way we know what the demand is. And we should be responding to the fact that there is such a demand.
Is there a way of just keeping this, if the list remains open, is there a way of obviously keeping their addresses, etc., the people who are waiting to go on the list without it being part of the process of having a formal list? If you see what we've got, a formal list, but if we're at such a number where these are going to be 3 years down the line, 3 or 4 years down the line, so that's what concerns me with that. Councillor Nixie.
Harping back to something I feel quite bitter about in this council, but anyway, so when there was a proposal to buy land for allotments, at the time there was a huge waiting list, and we were told that waiting list actually had duplicate names on it, and the number of people waiting, and I remember this number distinctly, was 79. If we've gone from 79 up to 212 in a matter of years, I would suggest that there was a call for new allotments to be considered. However, that's just me being bitter. So can I ask, is that 212 bona fide 212 people, or is it duplicate names?
Each applicant can select up to 3 different allotment sites.
Right.
The waiting list currently hosts a total of 12 applicants. So it looks like there's...
Why these numbers don't add up to 12.
Yeah, because some people have put themselves forward for multiple sites.
Right.
But actually the total number of people is 212. And this has come down actually quite a bit from half a year ago because the allotment officer did go through double checking whether people were still in the area, whether they still wanted. So I'd say that is a good, realistic current number.
I just think that if you're on a waiting list and the waiting list is closed and therefore you don't get on that list, you don't have any way to like go up the ranking, if you know what I mean. We're not allowing anybody to go up the ranking, whether that makes sense or not. I mean, I don't see the advantage, to be quite honest with you, of closing the list. I'm not, other than like you said about data protection, I don't really see why we would. It's just a list, isn't it? If either, and it's a good way of recording, as Councillor Green says, like, right, well, this shows that we need allotment spaces never much sought after. If I thought it was financially beneficial or anything like that, I might agree with it, but I'm not keen on it, to be honest with you.
Anybody else, members?
So, I mean, looking at the full pitches and the half pitches, if you could, I mean, if you eventually wound round so that everybody got a quarter pitch, you'd solve your waiting list problem. But, you know, I don't know enough about what size of pitch people need.
If I can, if I'll interject here, Councillor Ring has been involved in allotments quite a lot lately. And for, you know, I think it becomes an age thing.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have had allotments for a long time. When you're young, you're fit, healthy, and you can do a whole plot. And when you get older, and what we do anyway, is if people have got an issue, health issue or something, we can say, well, would you accept cutting that down that, and then so someone else has got another half. And that quite often happens. So you're right, but at the end of the day, a quarter of a pitch for some people, it's just not worth it. You know, so... Councillor Makinson?
Sorry, it's probably, how often do they come available? I mean, it's a question.
Without being able to give specific numbers, but I think it tends to be around the time when the rent is due that people consider, do they want to return? Do they not? There's usually a flurry of activity of allotments being passed along.
Yeah, and also it depends on, you know, depends on age, and people get ill or sick and they can't do it and whatever. So, but it is a slow process. It's not. It doesn't change overnight or anything like that. So, if there's no more comment, I think. You basically, is that a proposal that we keep the list open and keep it?
Yes, I propose that.
Seconded. Members, all in favour of that, please show. Okay, that's carried, thank you.
The next item is the WhatsApp guidance review. And the WhatsApp guidance was adopted at a previous meeting following discussion with site representatives and 2 members of the Margate Road site representatives group. The suggestion involved for this document to be extended to govern use of all social media and allotment sites. And attached to the report is a draft social media guidance, which builds upon the existing guidance to include all social media. I was concerned about the overreach in how people are communicating on social media with their private devices, but this seems to be more and more common. For example, at my daughter's primary school, we've just received a policy from the school on how the parents communicate with each other on our private devices on social media. Gosh. So this is a recommendation from the site representatives.
Members, any comments on this? by our life, I'm in about umpteen WhatsApp groups, different things, private and whatever. I mean, not really. Can't see a problem with it because it's their WhatsApp group, although
We're not administrative, are we?
no.
And all this is doing is taking an existing policy and extending it to other forms of social media, isn't it?
Yeah. So
So if that's what they want, and that.
all agree with that, members?
Yeah.
Okay, take that forward. Thank you.
Item 3 is also a request from the site reps that they'd like to have a dedicated allotments counsellor and would like to feel more connected to the councillors. They've suggested one person. I'm sure they would be happy with multiple people if you wished.
Members, I would say, having been involved in a lot of this lately, the answer to that would be no. I don't think it's right. I don't think they're there to get on with the allotment. They've got their site representatives. That's who are there representing the allotment holders. So Maggie is the officer who deals with them. So my view is that is how it should stay. Councillor Austin.
I feel it undermines the officer actually if the councillor gets involved. Or there's potential for all sorts of
Absolutely.
tensions that don't need to happen.
Absolutely.
I think they've all got a ward councillor too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, members have a no on that. We agreed on a no on that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Item 4, a proposed additional rule is there's an increasing use of trail cameras on site to protect tenants' livestock, crops and possessions due to ongoing incidents of theft. Some have expressed concerns that there is potential invasion of privacy, and the suggestion is the rule: if using a trail camera or similar to protect your allotment and its contents, the view of the camera must be limited to your plot alone. Non-compliance will be deemed an invasion of privacy and therefore a nuisance and antisocial. This may result in a notice of an immediate termination.
What's a trail camera?
So it flashes when there's movement.
Yeah.
It takes a photo when it detects movement.
Yeah. So anyone walking by, effectively. Yeah.
If my understanding, so correct me if I'm wrong, that things to do with CCTV on people's houses and so on and so forth, that type of thing, has to be restricted to your own personal property.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'd just be following national guidelines of what it's meant to be doing. So yes, we should be adopting that policy because otherwise we're going against something that's advocated by the police. Surely, again, correct me if I'm wrong here, but.
No, I think it's providing if they want one and want to stick it on a pole and it looks at their allotment, then it's got to be down on the ground. So they'll probably get a lot of rabbits. Yeah, probably get a lot of rabbits.
We can ask site reps to check.
To check, yeah, they'll. I mean,
I think it would be if someone's concerned about Mr. Smith's camera's pointing at my plot. We would ask Mr. Smith, can you show us a photo of the field of view from your camera?
We will ask.
RTC.
if we get a complaint, if we get a complaint in from another,
Site rep will ask.
And the site rep
and it'll go through Maggie. It'll go through Maggie.
Sorry, Chair, but this all comes under GDPR legislation. I mean, I've got a door window and I've switched it off because my door is right on the pavement. It's picking up everybody. So I decided that I also have to have a little notice that says recording in process. So if you have a trail camera, then you have to have that notice to say recording in process because you cannot just record people. If you look at the legislation for GDPR, it's about who you're recording and what you're doing with those images that are the two key important points. The good thing for us is that the data controller is the person who puts the trail camera out there. It used to be that we could be in trouble for allowing people to do that, but it's a bit of a minefield putting trail cameras on what is effectively a public space. I mean, if it was in my if it was my garden,
A lot of this is not a public space.
but it's still so the boundaries of my garden.
I still think that we need to take advice under GDPR, and that I wouldn't, I've switched my door window off because it's just picking everybody up, and you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
So may I say, this is designed exactly for that your trail camera must only cover your plot.
I ain't got a problem with that. Because every rule applies. Okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd like to just be noted that I have concerns over this.
The next one is a change of rule suggested by the site representatives. Some of whom are of the opinion that the current required cultivation period of 4 weeks during the growing season, April to September, for new and existing tenants is too long. So this is the notice that we give people to cultivate their allotments before they risk termination. They have requested that this period be reduced to 2 weeks because plots decline so quickly during the growing season. Committee will be minded that delays may sometimes be due to people taking their annual holiday at this time of the year. The period was reduced by half from 2 months to 4 weeks by the committee in May 2024.
I'll be honest with you, I would be really reluctant to do that. I think if people are taking out holidays, or we've got, family bereavements, whatever it is, then there's a period of grace where we're not handing them because, you've got a couple of weeks on your allotment. I do appreciate the fact that, things can get overgrown really quickly, in which case after 4 weeks, or within that 4 week period, you've got to get your act together and sort it out. But I think 2 weeks is seriously short.
It is too short.
So I would propose against reducing.
Suppose it remains the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Members agree with that?
Thank you. Item 6, another change of rules suggested by the site representatives that relates to incinerator fires on allotment plots. Currently, incinerator bin fires must not be left unattended and should only be lit after 6 p.m. from March to October and 2:30 p.m. from November to February. In respect of Chiltern Lane East and West, wind direction must be towards the coast. The suggestion is that the permitted time, 6 p.m. and 2:30, be brought in line with when the clocks change for British summertime and the winter. The feeling is that this will make it easier to remember and to comply with the rules. It would, however, extend the allowed earlier lighting time from 4 months to 6 months in the year. In addition, in light of current housing development, committee may also in time be minded to consider the rule wording regarding wind direction towards the sea for the 2 Chiltern Lane sites. However, the technician managers have suggested that incinerator fires should be banned on all allotment sites at all times due to their environmental impact, health and safety risk and nuisance value for neighbours. Their justification is that material on or brought to an allotment site should be compostable, making burning of any material unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're asked to decide whether to maintain the current fire lighting times, change the times to match the clock changes, or ban all incinerator fires on all sites.
Members? Catch Sean.
As I've done, I don't remember the year, it's only September was a good time for the bonfire. It burns up with rubbish and put it back on the garden, it's potash. It's a part of having a garden.
The times changed, catch the chunk.
Not a million, no, I live in the past.
No, but you live in the past anyway, so you can go back
It's a
there.
burning issue.
Catch.
I think I'm with the technicians, we should ban it. I mean, if you look at the weather conditions we've had from about May until, yesterday, we've had very little rain, and it's just that everything's just a tinder box. So I think the less fire lighting, the better for us all.
I agree. Councillor Green?
I think incinerator fires are okay.
Sorry?
I think incinerator fires are okay. We've already banned fires, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, I propose that we ban it.
I'll second that.
Ban it. Those in favour? 1, 2, 3. Those against? 2, 3.
Abstaining, I'm on like I'm sitting on the fence on this one. Don't want any fires, but I think, yeah, do you know what I mean, an incinerator fire.
And then I've got the casting vote, so it's banned.
It was passed anyway, I think, wasn't it? 3 to 2?
No, 3-3.
That was your original vote, that's the proposal.
My original vote, yeah. So there we are.
So it's all down to you, Chair.
Indeed, indeed.
Get the hate mail, all wrapped up that.
Bit of steak there, right?
To the bit where we nominate a councillor for the representative.
Yeah, it was you, Councillor Nixon, wasn't it? Down there?
Item 7, changes to the appeal procedure. The appeals procedure document is no longer current, and makes reference to the amenities committee. Attached to your document was a proposed update. It's more bringing it in line with other things that have been agreed. For example, referencing the asset management committee instead of amenities.
Got no problem with that. Members, anybody got a problem with it? Bringing it into line with what we've already got so far? Members agreed? Agreed. Okay, thank you.
And then there's number 8, there's an update from the allotment officer on National Allotment Society training that she's undertaken.
What am I
Oh,
on?
no, we've just done that one.
Oh, we just, have we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So there's a few updates in there. One of the things that particularly stood out for the allotment officer that could be useful is that when notice of termination is given, is to ask people to give us an action plan. Actually, how are you going to bring your allotment back up to standard? What specifically are you going to do, and what are the timescales? And she feels that will really help focus people's minds on whether this is achievable, how they're going to achieve it. Yeah. So this is for noting.
Just for noting, members. Noted. Thank you. Okay, that's item 4 done. Thank you. Item 5, we now have to go through the process because of confidential items. So it's recommended that under the Public Bodies Admission to Meetings Act 1960, the public and accredited representatives and blah, 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 but our virtue of the paragraph specified against the item. So effectively, for those watching online, we're going into, you'll no longer be able to hear or see us because of the privacy that's required. So thank you for watching if you're still there, and we shall carry on for another 3 hours or so.